Good morning, everyone. Welcome to part 5 of making a skating dress for my dress form. Right now I am just finishing up the shoulder, sleeve, epaulet, strap, whatever we're calling it. So I'm just adding some elastic to the inside so that it stays on the shoulder, and then doing a narrow rolled hem along the edge to finish that edge. Next up, we're going to go ahead and top stitch that elastic and then go ahead and attach that piece to the dress itself. So looking at this, I don't really like the way that's turned out. I'm going to go ahead and tear that part out and redo the next strap to make it look a little bit more even. I really, really hate tearing out seams. Okay, so luckily I didn't have to take out the entire neck strap, so I went ahead and did what I needed to get that line more even and symmetrical. And so now I'm going to retop stitch that section, and then I am also going to go ahead and put in the swimsuit clip. The clip I have here is a little bit too big. It's also plastic. For skating dresses, I don't like using plastic hardware just because it does run the risk of wearing out, getting brittle, breaking. So for skating dresses that I make for actual skaters, I do use metal hardware to help keep the strength that it needs. This is just what I had on hand, and since it will never be on the ice, I figured it will probably be fine. Alright, here we are with the dress back on the dress form. That neck strap does look a lot better now that it's not attached to the shoulder piece. And now that we have finished the sewing part of it, we're going to go ahead and start adding the rhinestones. So right now I'm just adding a piece of Scotch tape. Seems kind of a weird process, but what that does is that gives me a easy to remove but visible straight line that I can use for this initial line of rhinestones that I'm putting on. And then once I'm done, I can go ahead and peel the tape off, and it doesn't affect the dress at all. To add the rhinestones, I use E6000 glue. Now the glue, if you've ever used it, you'll know is very thick and it's hard to get out of the tube in such a small amount for the rhinestones. So I have some glue syringes with a 16 gauge blunt tip needle that I use to apply the glue. And then I have one of those jewel setting pencils or pens with the wax tip to put those rhinestones into place. I don't usually leave the garment on the dress form when I'm adding the rhinestones. This is a new process that I'm trying to see how it goes. I don't really love the angle of it. It's kind of hard to, really get in there, whereas when it's laying flat on the tabletop, it's easier to get to. But I do really like seeing the way the garment is looking as I'm putting those rhinestones, so I may go ahead and proceed with this process. right, and here is where I left off with the rhinestoning. So that will be left to set overnight so that that glue can set up. As you can see, I have a nice straight line with that initial row of rhinestones, and tape came off no problem. And now we can start filling in some of the other detail I wanted to add.